So this concludes my short-term first impressions of the VXR, the Mathews, and I must say I'm pleasantly surprised. Not that I expected anything less from Mathews, but the point is there was a few extras that I didn't know that this bow packed. So you get two versions. You get the 28 axle to axle, and then you get the 31.5 axle to axle. They're both 6-inch brace sights, 343 IBO, 344 IBO for the 28. So they're very similar. The difference is that obviously the one is a bit longer than the other one. This is the 31.5. I always preferred a little bit of a longer bow. Even though it's not a long bow, it's 31.5 sounds a bit short, but this bow aims like a target bow, and that's what surprised me about this. So early 2000s I used to do a lot of survival hunts, and my bow back then was a Conquest 2. The simple reason I chose is because a lot of times you would shoot small game at long distance. So you know, the shorter bows didn't really like aim as good for me, didn't aim as well. So I used to go for a longer bow for that accuracy. Whenever I choose a bow, I think back to those days and think, would I use this for survival hunting where your life depends on how well your bow performs? And this bow passes with flying colors. It's quiet, it's smooth, it draws easy, and it aims, it holds very well. So the other thing I like about this bow is the grip. It's got a nice feel to it. It's a bit rough and it's not too round, not too flat. My hand personally fits perfect into this, and the finish on this bow is just fantastic, as you expect from Mathews. The thing I like about this bow as well, that I also have on my TRX 40, my target bow, is the top hat system. I just love this system because you can tune your bow without adjusting your arrow rest. That's the idea behind it. So you can get it optimum. It makes it easier for you to adjust your standard shot, keep your arrow straight, 13/16 from the riser, and then adjust top hats accordingly. So in other words, if your arrow goes tail left through the paper, you move the top hats left. If it tail rights, you move it right. It's a very easy system. And then if you change the strings in the future, you don't need to readjust it usually. So there's no yokes, so you just put the new strings on and it should be good to go. Another thing I want to talk about is the wall on this bow. It's such a nice wall. It's not like very solid like a limb stop, but it's also not spongy. It's such a nice balance. Especially for me that shoots a hinge, there's a bit of movement that I can pull through the shot, which I like. And also the bow doesn't want to run forward with you. Completely different feel to the TRX 40, but it's a different setup and it's a different condition. So for hunting though, this is like perfect for me. The other thing you might notice as well is the wider limb pockets. This makes it really stable when you aim. It's got a beefy riser and also the cross-centric cams like it's standard on the new Mathews. The principle behind it is that your yokes attaches on opposite side of the cams, and that eliminates cam lean as well. So they're a lot easier to tune, like an old system like a hybrid cam, where you got one cable pulling on the one side of the axle, making it a bit harder to tune. So this is just a great system, and it's combined on a great platform, a bow that shoots easy, a bow that's fast, quiet, just a perfect hunting bow. And I'll definitely take this when I go survival hunting the next time. I also just want to thank Archersedge for letting me use this bow, do some testing on it. It's going to go back to the shop soon, and I must say I'm going to miss this, and I'll actually have to get one of these.
give it a